Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on Mzansi Confessions. Before I read for you the story for today, I just want to tell you guys that I've been reading and receiving a lot of messages. So there's this message that I received yesterday from this very beautiful sister of ours. She was saying, my brother, can you please help me find someone who is going to give me a charm that is going to make me win the lotto? She is looking for a charm that is going to give her luck. Then I told her the same things that I want to tell you guys. The reason why I created these platforms here on YouTube and also on Facebook, the reason is that you guys can learn that if someone tells you that I'm gonna give you a lucky charm, never fool yourself and just think that that charm is gonna come for free. There is nothing for free in this world. Everyone that I've spoken to, everyone who has gotten these charms and all sorts of charms, they tell me that at the end of the day, there is always a sacrifice that is needed. So stay away from those groups that teaches you how to get charms. If you see those adverts on Facebook, it's either it's a scam, or maybe if it is a real thing, stay away from those people, because at the end of the day, it is you who is going to suffer. There is nothing for free in this world. Like I always say, work hard. If you work hard, there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. Today you might be facing a very difficult situation. Maybe you don't have a job, maybe you don't have money in your pocket, but this is the time for you to think out of the box. And always remember, there is nothing like easy money in this world. As for me, I do not discriminate whether you are from Nigeria or you are from Ghana, from Botswana, from anywhere. Just come with your confession. I will share it with the rest of the world. Let us get into the story of the day. So I received this message from Anonymous. The message that I received, it reads like this. Hello, my brother. Can you please post for me as Anonymous? In 2018, somewhere. The message that I received from Anonymous, it reads like this. Hello, my brother. Can you please post for me as Anonymous? In 2018, somewhere in Gauteng, my brother was killed. He was killed by his best friend. And as I write this story to you, I am very emotional. We only heard these things in court and also from my brother's neighbors. My brother, 30 at the time, he had just finished his varsity and was working for a bank in Joburg. His life was going on very well. He got his first job and all of us were very happy, just like any other African family. We have had the first graduate in the family, and he then moved from KZN to Joburg. He got a job and was working at ABSA. We were raised by our single mom, and my mom was working in my kitchen in order to send us to school. When my brother graduated, we knew that we had come to the end of our contract with poverty. They call it black tax, but I would like to call it being responsible and remembering your mother's struggle to raise you. Each and every month, and my brother would send us money, and he told our mom to stop working because she had sent him to school. And now he said to my mom it was his time to pay her back for all of her sacrifices. Our life changed, and I don't want to lie, all of this was because of my brother. He was living in Joburg, like I said, and because my brother had a very kind heart, after he had settled in Joburg, he also took in his two friends. He then offered them accommodation whilst they were still job hunting. They too were from KZN. His friends got jobs, so they used to share a 3-bedroomed apartment. I remember that my brother used to come to visit us, and he had bought himself a very nice car. It was an SUV, and he would also come along with his friends. You know, those friends who end up being family. That was the relationship he had with them. What happened is a friend of his lost his job. Let me call this guy JB for security reasons. JB is the one who killed my brother. Then the other friend, I'll call him BI or Bongani. My brother, I will call him TJ because that was his childhood nickname. So JB will stay at home because he was not working, but they say that he was doing this thing called forex trading. So on this day, TJ, who was my brother, came back from work and they had a very big misunderstanding. They used to fight, but it looks like this fight on this day was a very different one. The neighbors say that they heard sounds like someone was hitting the wall. Then after a few minutes, everything just became silent and it came back to normal. So it looks like JB went into my brother's room. That room is the room where my brother lost his life. What happened is that they had a very big fight. Then JB killed my brother with an iron bar. And after that, he then locked the room and he cleaned himself since their friend was already on his way from work. He then locked the room. When Wongani arrived later that night, he asked JB, "Where is TJ?" And JB was like, "It looks as if TJ is going to work very late today." Then when Wongani went to sleep, the following morning, as soon as Wongani went to work, JB called Amajita to come help him cut my mother's child, my own brother. They used a hacksaw to cut him to pieces. When I heard them explaining everything, I began to cry. This is how they slaughtered my brother. They cut the legs up to the knees. They did cut his hands off, and then they took his torso, the thighs, the chest, and the head. Then they put it into a very big monarch. Yeah, I mean that traveling bag. Then they made the biggest mistake of their life. They cleared all the blankets that were soaked in blood. Then they threw those blankets in the dustbin. He also threw his wallet and the iron bar in the dustbin. Now the caretakers, they noticed that something was very wrong. At around 2, they went to the dustbin area. Then they picked up the wallet and then they saw TJ's license. It was covered in blood. I don't know how does God work, but then they reported the matter to the police. Meanwhile, JB took my brother's torso and asked one caretaker to help him carry the bag. The man, as he explained, he said that the bag was very heavy and he thought that it was weights because JB was a very big man. He was a giant, so he used to be someone who would go to the gym each and every day. JB, when you look at him, he is a very scary man. He has these big muscles. So the caretaker was like, maybe he's going to the gym. He then went on and he went to a very small bushy area and he attempted to burn the body of my brother. He left the body, and then when he went on to buy some food, it seemed as if the spirit of my brother just wanted the body to be discovered, because the funny thing happened is that JB just left the bag in the bushy area, but the area is the area where people dump their rubbish. So there was someone who discovered the body before JB had returned, and he reported the matter to the police. When I think about it, this was my father's son who was discovered in a dumping area, a very bright person, a very kind person. He was a kind person to each and everyone. Even when people were testifying, they were saying that at the branch that he was working, he never wanted to see anyone waiting for such a long time in the queue. He will make sure that he will help that person in time. Back at the apartment, the police managed to get the master key and opened the apartment. Then they found my brother's hands and legs. JB walked to the apartment and found the police in the estate. Then he went into the apartment and said nothing. He was then put into the van and lot of forensic people came to the scene. I remember very well when we got the news. I had never been heartbroken like that. My mother's only son, what did he do to deserve such a painful death? The only person who had changed our life. He was our only breadwinner. Up until today, when I think about it, As I was writing you this story, I am so emotional. I'm even crying. I can't stop myself from crying. It's been years. Until today, I can imagine the pain that he went through. My brother, the only thing that I can tell you the story of this brother of mine who has passed away is that be careful of blood thirsty, jealousy friends. So this friend of my brother, he then got 15 years in prison. Then after 15 years, he will be out. But what about my brother who is trapped 6 feet under the ground for the rest of his life? This is the life that I have to go through. Please, when you post it, notify me so that I can also follow up in the comment section. To me, letting out this story out of my heart has been a very painful process. This is a story that I received from Anonymous. Let us try to give her a message of hope in the comment section. Dear listeners, I'm going to come back with another story. This story is a different one. I received it from this Nigerian boy. He said he want to tell me how he got involved in this thing that they call Yahoo boys, this thing of scamming people over the internet. Let's meet again in the following episode.